Hey everyone, this is Pete. Welcome to a new series of New Game Plus. Today we'll be looking at Atelier Rorona DX on Nintendo Switch. This is also available on PlayStation 4 and PC, and Atelier Rorona Plus, which is what this is based on, is also available on PlayStation 3 and PlayStation Vita, so there's lots of places you can play this. Now, at the time of recording, I've just finished a bunch of coverage of this game and its two sequels over on Moe Gamer, so I thought it would be good to revisit it for its New Game Plus mode and see if I can get some of the other endings and so on. So let's load my clear data and off we go. So the things you get to transfer from a previous playthrough of this game to the next one is you can transfer the almanac or the library, which gives you information on where to find ingredients, what recipes are, monsters and that sort of thing, the money you had at the end of the game, and any equipped items all of the characters had on the save game, and then you just start over from the beginning. You don't carry across levels, so you have to get them yourself, and sort of things like event flags and key items and stuff. Obviously you'll need to get those yourself again as well. So, yes, let's skip the opening. If you do want to play this for yourself, there is quite an extensive sort of tutorial sequence at the beginning, but we're going to skip over that because this is New Game Plus. So, yes, skip. So, for the unfamiliar, the structure of Atelier Rorona is that for 3 in-game years, she is given assignments by the castle to achieve something using alchemy. So, as you can probably tell by the end of my previous playthrough, I dressed them all up in different costumes. But yeah, as I was saying, the main aim in Atelier Rorona is to complete these assignments. And so you generally have about 3 months or so to complete these. So this first one, we have to make the items polish powder, zettel, and alchemy coal. And we have to make enough of those to satisfy the requirements. And the way you get various endings in the game is dependent partly on how many stars you earn in the assignments, which is most easily manipulated by item quality and the number of items you submit. And also by character flags that you trip along the way as well. So, I've got a few endings in mind that I would like to get on this playthrough. Specifically, I would like to try and get the Geo ending, because I've never seen that. That ties in with the true ending. And I'd also wouldn't mind trying to get the adventurer ending as well. That has some slightly more specific requirements. One thing that Atelier Rorona Plus and DX added over the original PS3 version of this game is the fact that you can sort of over-clear the requirements for the endings. And then when you get to the end of the game, you can pick which ending you want to see, which is nice. Because in the original game, you had to sort of deliberately do badly on some assignments in order to get a particular ending. You no longer have to do that, thankfully. So, alright. Let's get started. Okay, so we are off. Right, one other thing that carries over from a original game to New Game Plus is that you'll see there's a bunch of items around the workshop here. There's things like this basket over here. There's this cup here. There's the thing on the desk there. This magic carpet down here, this bag, those shoes, all those things are furnishing items, and most of them provide some sort of passive benefit to Rorona. In the field, so for example, the shoes shorten your travel time on the map. The bag allows you to send items back to the workshop from while you're out in the field, which is incredibly useful. The cauldron over here, this is an enhanced cauldron that will produce better quality items, and I think it means that you use fewer ingredients as well. Yeah, so this basket here, this is not hugely helpful. It just means you can get one liquid and one thing per day, basically. And then just send them straight to the container. Okay, so let's check our assignment. So polish powders, Zettel, and alchemy coal are the things we need. And then there's also these optional requests you can do as well. And so if you do these, you get vouchers, which you can spend to get various benefits, items, hard to find things, unlocks, that sort of thing. And there's also like a bingo card as well, where if you make, if you complete 9 objectives in total, including the main one, which is the central one, you get all those benefits down the side as well for making the different lines as well. So it's worth trying to complete at least some of those objectives, and all of them if you can manage it. So, where to begin? Well, let's see if we've got any ingredients to begin with. I don't think we do, so we're probably going to have to go out gathering for a bit. We've got enough to make some 11 supplements at the minute. But all we got in there at the minute is some flour, some uni, which we can use as attack items, magic grass, and water. And that's it. So, probably what we want to do, first of all, is head out into town. I'll head on over to the castle, pick up a few quests. This is Esti. So the item exchange here, this is where your tickets can be got. So not massively helpful to begin with, but the higher your reputation, the better items you can get from here. So, alright, so we can get some magic grass, and we can actually report that straight away using what we've got in the container. 4 supplements we can make very easily. There's no other assignments in a minute. So, if we head straight back to the workshop, or in fact, before we do that, let's go and trigger these events. So those little symbols at the side mean that there's an event at that location. So we'll head over there and see what's going on.
何?お前がアトリエの店主?
なんかそういうことになっちゃって。
くそー!俺だってまだ見習い扱いなのに、ロロナの方が先に店主になるなんて。
そんな、育瀬君の方が全然すごいよ。見習いって言っても、お店のことはほとんど任せてもらってるんだし。私は面倒だからって師匠に押し付けられただけで。
そうかそれほどでもないけどな。まああれだ、へこんでたっていいことなんて一つもないし。
ありがとう。なんだか育瀬君見てたらよし、私頑張ってみる。
その調子その調子。あ、帰るんなら紅茶代100。
サービスで入れてくれたんじゃないの？
冗談だよ、いちいち本気にすんなって。ま、困ったことがあったらいつでも来いよ。
So Ixal's one of the characters who comes back through quite a lot of this series. So he's a major character in this one. He also appears in Atelier Rorona, which is the second one. He's a bit of a dick in that one, has to be said.
Yo.
In a little while, we can actually recruit him to put in our party, but we can't do that just yet. So, let's go do those other events.
Hey, いらっしゃい。なんでジョーちゃんかよ。
違いますよ。今日はちゃんと武器を買いに来たんです。
なんだぞ。おいおい。若い
He's got such great music.
ちょいと感心しねえな。
武器屋の人のセリフとは思えないな。私もあんまり持ちたくないんですけど。
訳ありか。よかったら詳しく聞かせてみな。
はい、実は。
おお、それでジョーちゃんがアトリエを切り盛りすることになったと。
街の外にも材料とか取りに行かないといけないし。
そういうことなら仕方ねえな。
どうしてですか？
どうしてって言われてもな。そういう奴らのための武器しか作ってねえんだよ。
そうですか。困ったな。
ああ、そんな顔すんじゃねえよ。近いうちにジョーちゃんでも使えるような武器を用意しといてやるからよ。
本当ですか？ありがとうございます。
は？
じゃなかった。親父さん。
おう、どんと任せておきな。
危ない危ない。
Alright, so equipment we shouldn't have to worry about too much to begin with, because we've got the equipment I ended the previous game with, which is all very, very nice indeed. Not sure what Cordelia was left with. Oh, pretty good. So that should stand us in good stead for quite some time yet. But normally what you have to do is you have to make ingots and cloth in order to make equipment. Haggle will actually make the equipment for you, but you have to make the ingredients yourself.
いらっしゃい、ロロナちゃん。
出てきた。ティファナちゃんだ。
Everyone loves Tiffany.
待て、俺が先だ。俺が一番先にティファナちゃんの手から釣り銭を受け取るんだ。
相変わらず大人気ですね。
おかげさまでね、なんとか潰れずにやっていけてるわ。
うちのアトリエにもこれくらいお客さんが来てくれたらな。
すぐにお客さんでいっぱいになるわよ。ロロナちゃんみたいに可愛い子が店主になったんですもの。
もうしてるんですか？
ええ、友達から聞いてね。いろいろ大変だと思うけど。
優しいな。
そんなこと言ってはダメよ。
確かに。今の話はくれぐれも内緒に。
わかってるわよ。とにかくこれから頑張ってね。はい。
Alright, so Tiffany's shop here. This is sort of sundries. So, in fact, we got the recipe for polish powder there, so we're going to need that. So we'll purchase that. We'll come and buy other stuff as we need it. It's probably worth popping back to the cafe just to see if he's got any recipes, which he has. So you need to check back in all these places every so often, because it doesn't necessarily tell you when these have become available. Alright, and no recipes here. Okay. I think we are good to begin. So, let's get equipped up with a few items that we might need. Also learn our new recipes. Alright, let's have a quick check of those extra assignments as well. So we need to synthesize 5 times during the term. Easy enough, that's definitely going to be done. Gather 10 times, win 5 battles, use healing self 3 times in battle, use uni once in battle, defeat 5 blue ponies. So all of these are things that you're probably naturally going to do quite easily anyway. So we need to use 1 uni and use healing salve 3 times. So if we take those with us, healing salve you can use up to 3 times. So 1 will cover that. We only need 1 uni. And then we need to synthesize some stuff as well. So let's synthesize those supplements that we were waiting for. 1, 2, 3, 4. And let's use those remaining unis and one of the flowers. Supplements you can make from absolutely anything. They're sort of a general purpose ingredient. We don't need to worry too much about quality or traits or anything like that at the moment. So we just make what we need. And we're done.
そうだ。師匠、今日ちょっと家に帰ってきてもいいですか？
なぜだ？
一緒に寝たことなんてないじゃないですか。
では昨日寝てる間にいたずらしたのを怒ってるのか？
何ですかいたずらって。
それは秘密だ。冗談は置いとくとして理由を聞こうか。
どこまでが冗談なんだろう。大した理由じゃないですけど、お父さんとお母さんに事情を説明しておこうかなって。
ああ、そういうことか。
ありがとうございます。明日の朝には帰ってきますから。
もし寂しくなったら朝と言わず夜中に帰ってきてもいいんだぞ。
開けてなくていいです。
So some context from the intro that we skipped. Astrid is Rorona's master. Astrid helped out Rorona's parents a while back, but they didn't have the money to pay her for all her services, so Rorona agreed to work as her apprentice to kind of pay off the debt. And Astrid is a little eccentric, shall we say.
あらロロナ、お帰りなさい。
どうしたんだ？急に帰ってくるなんて珍しい。
ちょっと話したいことがあって。
あらあら。大変そうね。
お母さんが言うと。
まあ心配はいらないだろう。
師匠のせいで余計。それでね、しばらく忙しくなるから。
まあ、それはちょうどいいわね。
いや実はな。
そうなの。二人っきりで若い頃の思い出の地を巡ろうかって。
二人っきりで？
だってロロナは忙しいんでしょ？
それはそうだけど。
そうだな。1ヶ月か2ヶ月か。
そんな長い間？
そんな顔しないで。ちゃんとお土産買ってきてあげるから。
お前の分もしっかり楽しんでくるからな。
Rorona's parents are also jacks. It is worth noting. A lot of people are kind of a bit unkind to poor Rorona in this.
それではロロナのことよろしくお願いします。
ああ、言われなくとも今まで以上に可愛がってやる。
助かります。
ご両親は人を見る目があるな。しかしあまり気を使う必要はないぞ。
あの子は甘えん坊ですから。
それにまあ2人だけで旅行したかったってのは本当で。
あ、そうか。では道中気をつけてな。
ええ。それじゃあ。
So the whole mess that Rorona is in is because of Astrid here. Well, it's just not really because of Astrid as such. It's one of the politicians of the kingdom is not convinced of the value of alchemy and has decided that he would rather build lots of factories. And so Rorona is trying to prove the value of alchemy. It's supposed to be Astrid proving the value of alchemy, but, you know. Astrid doesn't want to do anything for herself, so... Alright, I think we are ready to leave town. I've got an event out here.
お疲れモード？
いえ、疲れてるわけじゃないんですけど、本当にこれで。
そう。まあ大丈夫よ。真面目にやっていれば見てる人は見てくれてるから。
今からそんな様子では。
ステルクさん、すみません。
ステルク君、自覚がないようだから教えといてあげるけど。
自制します。それより今日は君に頼みがあるのだが。
私にですか？
私もこの町の住人だ。無論君には断る権利がある。
いいえ、やります。
そうか。もし出来上がったら。
そうね。
And so a big part of getting the character endings in this is dependent on the friendship levels.
ひょっとしてステルクさんって優しい人なんでしょうか？
And you can manipulate friendship levels in two ways. One is by taking characters with you when you leave town, and the second is by doing quests for them.
かわいいですか？
Alright, so let's just check how much time we got to do that before we leave town. So there's no time limit on that, so we can just do that whenever. So, let us finally head off. So the only place we can go so far is the nearby forest, which takes 1 day to get to. It's not going to cost anything because the only person we got with us is Cordelia, who is Rorona's friend, so she doesn't charge anything. Okay, and here we go. So the first area in the nearby forest, it will take us 1 day to explore that one, and there's an event there. And these are gathering points from which you can acquire stuff. It's all pretty shitty stuff at the beginning of the game, but you just have to kind of suck it up. It's not going to be until the later game that you start getting some higher quality ingredients and making really good items. You can still make reasonably decent stuff using these low quality ingredients. It's not as if they're going to make something unusable, but yeah, equally you're not going to be making anything absolutely amazing either. Oops. Okay, so that's that for that area. That then passes a day and allows us to access the next area, which has 2 exits. So we head on there. And we got some enemies this time. So if you hit an enemy with your stuff, you get the initiative in battle. So, things we had to do, we had to... did I not take the Yuri with me after all that? That's annoying. Oh well, never mind. Right, well, we can use the healing salve anyway. Alright, very good. So, here's another one. There will probably be some uni laying about anyway, so... As you can see, the equipment I finished the game with was quite good, especially in Rorona's case. Alright. Oops. So if you just walk into an enemy, you won't necessarily get the first turn, but depending on your speed stats, you might still get it. So, as I say, combat is probably going to be quite irrelevant for quite some time to begin with. Oh, there's a uni. And let us throw on at our foes. That's an assist attack. You'll see that Rorona starts each battle with 1 bar in her assist gauge, which means that one character can do a follow-up attack when she uses an item or a special ability. And the further in the game you go, those assist attacks start to become actual skills with specific effects. But I'm sure we'll come to that later. Again, it might be a little while yet. Treasure chests tend to have fixed items in them. They might be semi-randomized in terms of quality and traits and that sort of thing, but you tend to find the same type of item in there each time, as compared to the gathering points, which are randomized each time within a certain pool of things. So the other thing you can use the assist gauge for is you can block any attack that's targeting Rorona. It won't completely negate the damage, but it will redirect it to another character, and it will sort of lessen the impact of it as well. So, while the assist gauge is probably most useful for the offensive skills, it's it can be quite handy to kind of mitigate some of the incoming damage in certain situations. Okay, let's take this exit and see where this goes. So that exit heads up to the north there, which leads to a dead end, but it's still worth having a look, because the dead ends often have some of the best items in them. You see, we've got some actually quite good quality cabbages there. Which are obviously going to be useful for the cabbage soup quest that Esti had. Now, items usually spoil over time, particularly organic items. So what you'll want to do once you've got the secret bag item is you'll just want to send all your stuff back to the container to prevent any spoilage over time, especially if you're planning on making a long trip. I'll keep the barrel because that's an attack item. And that also frees up some space in your inventory as well, so... Okay, so in order to get to the next area, we have to go back to this one and go out the other exit. In the meantime, the enemies will have respawned. You don't have to fight them. In fact, at this point in the game, they're worth so little experience that it's only really worth fighting them if they're in your way, or if you have a specific objective to fight them. So, let's use that last healing salve. So there's like 2 or 3 experience from those. It's really not worth it. And you can just run around them. Green ones are worth slightly more though, so not a lot, but well, 3 for 1 target rather than like 1 per target. we can leave that be. Sometimes those things are really good. They're sort of completely randomized by chance, though. So sometimes you find something good, sometimes you find something bad, sometimes you find a trap and lose some hit points.
気づいてないわね。こっちから行くわよ。やあ。この。どうしよう。いて。どう。やったー。
Okay, to the next area. Alright, one exit from this one. Slightly more experience there, thanks to the wolf. And there was an objective to subdue some wolves as well, so that's good. The more objectives you can do in a single expedition, the better. Because that means you can then spend some time in the workshop making stuff. Because although it's good to get lots of experience and items out in the field, the biggest benefits will come from having plenty of time to craft. So, and that's something you'll really be able to enjoy a lot more in the New Game Plus. Just because you've got so many ways of saving time. How are you doing on those objectives at the minute? So, done all the gathering, done all the combat, done the healing, done the uni, done the puni. Need to make some items, need to become level 5 alchemist, level 5 adventurer, done the wolves. Okay, yeah, we're in a good position already. But we might as well clear out and map as much of this area as we can, just so we can go straight to specific areas later if we need to. And plus the experience and items don't hurt either. Now, certain maps you have sort of predefined enemies like that are generally the same as normal enemies, but sometimes they're a little bit stronger. As I say, in our current circumstances, it's probably mostly irrelevant if they're any stronger or not. But they tend to guard certain exits, make it a little bit tougher to get around at times. Alright, nearly at level 5. Okay, one exit from here. Starting to see some new enemies as well. And draggers. Again, no competition for Staff of Death. Alright, so they're both level 5 now, so they've both got their first skills. Which is good. The characters tend not to learn a lot of skills in the 3 Atelier Rorona games. They have maybe sort of 2 or 3 at most. Rorona is probably the most flexible because her items are effectively skills of sorts. She does have a few skills of her own as well. But, yeah. The characters do unlock a fair number of passive skills over time as well. And in a lot of cases, those are more useful than the ones you specifically pick from the menu. Right, so in order to get through there, we need a bomb. Which we don't have at the moment because we don't know how to make them. So that's something we'll have to come back for. Oops. Missed. Alright, and this is the end of the path. So again, we need an item to get past there, which we don't have at the moment, so that's no good to us. So we're pretty much done here for now. We can't get past the boulder, and we can't get past the water. So we can't go any further in either of those directions. So let's just leave. And we'll head back to the workshop. We should have plenty of items to work on stuff now.
Oh, いい匂いだな。
ちょっと気分転換にパイを焼いてたんです。
では遠慮なく。あつ。
やけどしないように気をつけてくださいね。
いや、十分にうまいぞ。
それほどでもないですよ。
その分錬金術の腕前も家事全般も勉強も運動も気配りも世当たりも運勢もいまいちだがな。
それほどでも。は
あ、ごちそうさま。だがお前に特技があるというのはよろしくないな。ダメっ子ブリーダーとしての私の保険に関わる。
ダメっ子ブリーダー。
よし、決めた。たった今からパイ作りは禁止とする。お前も錬金術師の端くれだろ。
そんな。
ご飯は許可する。
そんな。それじゃミートパイはご飯ですよ。
ミートパイか。どうしてもパイが作りたければ錬金術で作れ。
そんな。私の唯一の趣味なのに。
これもお前を一流の錬金術師にしたいがための試練なんだ。
嘘だ。
There's one of the endings specifically about making all the pies to the highest possible quality. All right. So let's see what we can do. Let's make Sturk's tea first. Let's make him a nice one. There we go. Again, no need to worry too much about traits, quality, and that sort of stuff at the minute. So let's just go and submit that. Let's pay Ixel a visit first.
No. 客から聞いたんだけど。
出歩いてるって。
でも街の外って危ないんだろ。
でもクーちゃんも一緒に来てくれたりするし。
あいつが一緒でも大して。
それはまあ。
しかし。よし。今度出かけるときは俺も街の外に行ってみたかったんだよ。
そっか。
よし。そうと決まればまずは武器を準備しないとな。
Alright, third party member.
Yo.
So Ixel does cost some money. So he costs 50 to take with him.
食材さ
But we've got plenty of money at the moment, so not something we need to worry about.
こんにちは。どの依頼の報告かしら。お疲れ様。
Okay, let's see what other stuff we got going on. So we got some quests to use some of the things that we've gathered. I'm actually going to hold fire on those for a minute because I want to get the assignment done first. It's generally a good idea to get the assignment out of the way as soon as you can, because then you can move on to doing more interesting things. So what were the specific things we had to make? So polish powder, zettel, and alchemy coal. So let's start with some coal.
多分大丈夫だね。
Let's make 10 of those. That'll take us 5 days. And let's make them good quality, or as decent quality anyway. Doesn't matter too much what we use. I'm going to save that one though, because you can make a consumable item using those. And then beehives, which are made of gunpowder apparently.
これでいい。それじゃあ調合するよ。できたー。どの特性を使う？
Alright, and then we got all these traits. Again, not hugely relevant. I will pop some quality and resilience on it though.
何を作ろうかな。
Right, let's go submit that and see how much more we need to do.
あれってなんか懐かしいな。
ロロナ？何道の真ん中でボケーっとしてんのよ。
あー、クーちゃん、あれあれ、ボルト外石を見てたの。
おお、懐かしいわね。モンスターが出るようになってからは
真っ暗になるまで遊んでて。
私は平気だったけどね。
そうだったっけ？
そんなわけないでしょ。
そうだったかな。
Excuse me.
もう子供じゃないんだし、あんな。まあでも
あの頃は気づかなかったけど、結構面白い材料とか取れると思うんだ。
材料？
昔拾って帰った石とか残ってないかな。
知らないわよ、石ころのことなんて。
なんで怒ってるの？
Jeez, so son. Because she loves Rorona. It's pretty obvious. Right. Accept my coal.
私に何か依頼の方は、
Sure. Well, I'm going to get all of them eventually, so it doesn't really matter too much. So let's just... Oh, I just need one more.
ラインが
Okay. So submit all these. Just a few more.
では期限の日まで大切に預からせてもらう。
You only need 3 stars to pass an assignment, but for most of the endings you need a lot more than that, so...
ラインが揃ったようだな。
Alright, now we can make bombs. That's exciting. So...
何を作ろうかな。これなら簡単簡単。
let's make a couple more of them. And we don't have the ingredients to do anything else. So, Zettel needs plant supplement and water. And that's easy enough to make. So, there is an easy place to get water right outside, conveniently. And here it is. Again, it's not brilliant quality, but it's a quick and easy way to get liquids if you need them. Alright, so the little triangle marked by something means that you can almost make something, but there is an ingredient that you would have to craft first. So I'll need to craft some supplement before I can make any Zettel. So let's synthesize some of these. You can make 5 supplement in just one day, so let's do that. Let's use some of these shitty Punu bowls because you end up absolutely overloaded with those. Okay, now we can make Zettel. We can make 5 of those in 2 days. Again, we're trying to keep the quality up because that should mean we don't have to submit as many of them. Although, given what we've got to work with at the moment, it's only so much we'll be able to do. Right, and I reckon that should probably be enough. Alright, and there's our last objective that we need for the bingo card. Cordelia is rich, but she doesn't like being rich. As we may well see in this playthrough. As you could probably guess, Cordelia does a lot of storming off like that. Alright, there we go. All done. So, I think that's probably as good a place as any to finish our first session on this. So, I'm just going to save. And then from next time, we are pretty much free to do lots of quests and alchemy and making things and making bombs and exploring and all that sort of thing as well. So, that's where we'll pick up from next time. So, as always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again next time. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please help out the channel by leaving a like or a comment and subscribing. Be sure to check out moegamer.net for new articles on Japanese and Japanese-inspired video games, new and old, every weekday. Every month, Moegamer features an in-depth exploration of an individual game or series as its cover game, so be sure to check the archives to see if your favourite has had a deep dive yet. If you'd like to support the site directly, please consider becoming a patron or buying me a coffee. You can find links to do both down in the video description. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time.